Vision Australia.
Blindness,
low vision,
Opportunity.
Hi, my name is Laura Anderson. I'm the Clinical Development Lead for Children and Young People at Vision Australia. And it's my pleasure to introduce our series of videos that we're recording today as part of Project Employability, our new way of thinking of services for children and young people within the organization.
Hello everybody, my name is Natalie Kane and I am the Senior Practitioner for Children and Young People and I am from Sydney.
Hi, I'm Karen Wolffe and I am a consultant working with Vision Australia on this important project, actually housed in Austin, Texas.
Hi, my name's Trish and I'm one of the Senior Practitioners for Children and Young People and I'm based in Brisbane.
So Project Employability is a long-term view of helping children and young people have meaningful participation in life. And that means looking at the here and now and thinking towards and preparing and implementing for the future. So for me, employability is gathering together all of the skills and areas of knowledge that you need over the course of childhood and adolescence. So when you're graduating from high school, you have the information you need to make meaningful choices and decisions about what you want to do with your life. And that includes participating in community, participating in work, participating in just general everyday life along with everybody else. That may include employment, it may not, but the key for what we're doing is that we're thinking about the future. So one of the key factors for taking this approach of promoting future employability and meaningful participation is conveying high expectations. So Karen, I wonder if you would be able to outline for us your views on conveying high expectations, how it relates with children and young people.
It seems to me that when we think about the situation for children and young people and their families as well with regard to blindness and low vision and how you will be perceived by the rest of the world, we have to acknowledge that many people don't have high expectations of others who are disabled. And what I'm trying to encourage is that young people themselves believe that they can do what they want to do moving into the future, and that all of those of us who are supporting those young children and youth are conveying to those young people our belief, our fundamental belief in them that they can and will be productive in life. And conveying high expectations is about letting young people know that they can do, and for young people to demonstrate for others that they expect to do the same amount of work in the same amount of time as their sighted peers.
So often when I'm working with children or young people and I will say to them, I want you to do this, I want you to practice that, I want you to try this, they will say to me, oh, I can't do that, I'm blind. And that, I always want to challenge that, but what would you say to kids and young people who might be saying, no, I can't do that? It's just not possible because of my vision.
I always get the same kind of responses, Natalie, and what I say to the child or the youth who says that to me is, I don't believe you. I don't believe that you can't do that. I believe that you can do that, and I want to see you make an effort. Let me see you try. Until I see you fail, I don't believe you cannot do it.
Yeah, and when you said that, like, my response would be, have you tried it? Like, you've already decided and you haven't even given it a try, right?
Exactly, and it's no different than for sighted people. I mean, we make an attempt and we see whether it's going to work, and then we learn how to do it. We have to practice and practice, but yeah, you've got to try.
And do you think we tolerate failure less with children with disabilities? I'm just kind of wondering if that's part of it too, is I think we all I mean, we all deal with failure differently, right?
Right.
But when it comes to kids with disabilities, do you think we approach that differently?
Laura, I think it's a deep-seated problem where people anticipate failure. And so they say to kids, don't do that. You can't do that. You're blind. Don't do that. You mustn't do that. It's dangerous. It's scary. And so we teach children not to try. And that's a mistake. And I think that children, especially young children, learn very, very quickly that if they say, oh, I can't do that, whoomph, someone will do it for them. And why in the world would you do something if someone else is willing to do it for you? They're always going to take that option. And they feed into the problem, which is that people anticipate that they will fail, so they don't encourage them to try. People are unsure. They don't say, oh, try this. Let me challenge you. They think, oh, mustn't challenge this child. And so they don't.
That's the thing that I'm always astonished by, that automatically it seems that having a vision impairment, people are lowering the bar of what they're expecting, and they change their aspirations, and their whole attitude about what's possible for a child or young person is automatically limited. And I worry what that says to children and young people who are maybe watching this video, that we don't believe that's the case. We believe you have options, but you're just going to have to work really hard to get there. It's not going to just happen. So I wonder, Karen, what are your suggestions for kids or young people when they are facing that sort of pushback or push down of what their expectations are, or how they're setting expectations for themselves?
Yeah, I think it's a really important thing for us to consider, because it happens over and over and over again, where people who meet a child for the first time who's blind, they tend to be sighted people, and they'll ask kids. When kids are 2, 3, 4, 5, already other people are saying to them, what do you want to be when you grow up? What are you thinking about? What do you want to be when you grow up? Children start to think, oh, I want to be Superman. I want to be a policeman. I want to be a ballerina. If there's a disability, people don't ask the question. They just kind of say, oh, I mustn't ask that because I don't know what they can do. I don't know what she can do. Can she do anything? I don't know, so I'm not going to ask any questions. And the children pick up on that. And what happens is the children start to hear the underlying message, which is, I don't think you can do anything. I don't think you're able to do this. And they learn. They learn not that the whole world is open to them, that all the choices are available. They learn what they can't do. I think what happens is that instead of people asking the question of children, what is it what you want to be when you grow up, or what are you thinking about, they either don't ask the question at all, and children don't have that opportunity to process that information, or children themselves will say, oh, I want to be a football player, or I want to be a ballerina, or I want to be a fighter pilot. Something that sighted people will think, you can't do that. And so in well-intended conversations with children, adults, teachers, parents start saying things to them like, no. That's not a good idea. You can't be a ballerina, you'll just dance off the stage. Or you can't fly a plane, there's no way. You have to have perfect vision to be able to. And they start canceling out all of the dreams, all of those bright ideas. They just say no. And children think, oh, I can't do that. I thought that would be such fun, and I can't do that. And it's because I'm blind. And kids get trapped into thinking that they can't do anything.
What would you suggest to them? What would you say to them if they're already feeling like that?
What I would share is that I understand what you are sharing with me. You're saying that you don't believe that you can do certain things. You must rethink this, because you've existed on the planet Earth now for 13, 14, 15 years, whatever the case may be, And I know, because I've been working with you and I've been observing, that there are lots of things you can do that you're already doing really, really well. You can read well, you write well, you work on your computer without any assistance from me whatsoever. You take care of things at home, you do the chores that your mom asks you to do. Don't think now about just what you can't do. I want you to rethink and start thinking about, what can I do? What do I like to do? Do I like reading? Do I like swimming? Do I enjoy music? What do I really like to do? Don't worry, is it related to work? Together we can explore whether some of those interests that you have transferability into work. But you have to give yourself a break from the I can't do messaging and reorient and think in terms of, what do I already do well? And then where I want to take you is, what would I like to be doing by the end of this year, in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? Where would I like to be living? Where would I like to be working? What would I like to be accomplishing in my own life? Do I want a partner? Do I want my own apartment? Do I plan to go to university? Do I want to work as a lawyer? Now is the time to start thinking about how to take what you've already got, add to it what you need, and get to where you want to be.
So really, it's never too late for a young person to start believing in themselves, and that there is a future for young people.
That's exactly.
Blindness and low vision.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. There's always a future.
When we're talking about high expectations, I'm trying to help them understand that this is what they might be doing now, and they have all of these people around them who are wanting to support them. But if they have dreams of moving into university where the expectations are very different, and then moving into employment where the expectations of an employer are going to be the same as their sighted colleagues, that's often a conversation that the students that I work with find difficult to hear. They don't always anticipate that they are going to be an adult in that world. They're going to have that expectation of them. What would you say to young people about why we're pushing this point about you have to be meeting these targets, basically?
What I share with young people when they come to me and say, I don't need to worry about that, everything is going to be fine, I don't need to fuss and bother about these things you're asking me to do, what I say to them is, it's really not about me, it's about you and what you want. And what I have understood from you is that you want to grow up and live happily ever after. And to me, that means that you want to be fully engaged in life, that you want to participate, that you want to have a family of your own in the future, that you want to have the ability to get around in the community and mix and mingle, that you want to have a job, ultimately. Many of the kids will share with me, well, I want a job when I grow up. But I share with them, you have to want a specific job. You can't just want a job. You need to say what those things are that you want, and then my role will be to facilitate or help you achieve your goals. But the key is, everything I ask you to do is related to what you've been telling me over time you want. You share with me things that I don't necessarily label a goal, but I hear it that way. If you say, I want, I think that's a goal, and we've got to get to work on it. And I want you to think that way too. To set that goal, that's those expectations for success. Set that goal and start working on it. I can only help you. You have to do the work. That's my expectation ultimately for you as a young person, is that you want something enough to work on it.
Vision Australia.
Blindness,
Low vision.
Opportunity.